Everyone, today we are going to see the top 5 most haunted places of Singapore. Here comes the National Museum of Singapore, haunted by ghost of former director. Built in 1882, National Museum of Singapore is a widely known museum believed to be haunted by a former museum director, Carl Alexander Gibson Hill, who committed suicide years ago. People, as well as the museum staff, have reportedly encountered this wandering spirit in the museum. Standing at the corner of the museum room is a beautiful Victorian style spiral staircase, flanked by two huge windows. It is famed for creepy sightings and has currently been sealed off from the public. People as well as museum staff have claimed to encounter the ghost of Carl Alexander Gibson Hill. There have been sightings of a priest-like figure. Visitors have claimed that they felt a force stripping them over and stopping them from climbing the haunted spiral staircase. Cleaners in the museum have also felt a similar force, while they try to clean the area as if someone in there does not wish to be disturbed. This is why they do not clean frequently and do it only twice in a week or so. The museum, as the legends, is haunted by the ghost of its former director and also a British doctor and geologist, Carl Alexander Gibson Hill, who reportedly committed suicide and was suffering from poor health since the last few years of his life. Istana Udnyuk, the haunted house. Abandoned in the wilderness is the haunted house of Istana Udnyuk, a two-story 19th century old palace, clad with vegetation. The mansion, destroyed by time now, once belonged to Sultana Abu Bakr of Johor. It is a magnificent haunting mansion straight out of horror movie that is sure to tingle one's ghost sense. A lot of creepy sightings have taken place here and one must tread carefully while visiting the mansion. People have reported random shadows, spirits, unseen ghosts and screams. A report by a man suggests that there were ghosts in the mansion, a British man and ancient servants holding glasses of wine as if in a ghost party. Next is Changi Hospital, the tortured zone. Built in 1930s, the old Changi Hospital is considered to another of Singapore's most haunted places. Especially the corridors are said to be haunted by the departed spirits. There have been several reports of shadows wandering here and there, fading in and out of sight, and loud unexplained screams are often heard coming from the halls of this old hospital. The old Shanghai Hospital is quite a hit among all those who are interested in paranormal activities and is claimed to be one of the many places that give you chills down the spine as soon as you set your foot in this area. Old Shanghai Hospital served as an army hospital before it was invaded by the Japanese in 1942 and was used as a torture camp during World War II rather than to treat the wounded. The long abandoned buildings are now said to be full of spirits and the dead soldiers who were brutally tortured to death by the Japanese. Here comes a school story, Tanglin Hill Brunei Hostel. A Tanglin Hill Brunei hostel was built nearly 50s of Bruneian students. Due to lack of maintenance, this hostel looks like a typical abandoned building, and some people claim to have a creepy feeling the moment they step near the building. Explorers have reported strange sightings like someone standing and peeking behind the doors, but nothing ever turned out to be violent. Although the hostel is comparatively less spooky, it will surely make you feel like you have stepped into some untold mysteries. Since Brunei lacked a proper education system, the government decided to send a few of their brightest students to Singapore to study. Brunei had developed its own secondary school and thus the government finally decided to stop sending their students and thus shut the hostel permanently in 1983, and this hostel was left abandoned ever since. Next comes Fort Canning Park, the Forbidden Hills. Previously known as the Forbidden Hills, is one of the Singapore's most significant historical landmarks. Presently, it is surrounded by well-maintained parks and also houses a Christian cemetery on one end of the land. Joggers who come to Fort Canning Park often have claimed to have had weird sensation near them as if someone was breathing down their necks. Some have even complained of having a feeling that they were being watched watched and followed around. It is believed that even today the spirit of Sultan Iskandar Shah still lurks around the park. Still doesn't sound convincing enough? Visit the place yourself to experience the thrill if you want to. Fort Canning Park was once the residence of kings of Singapore. Legends have it that the 14th century King Sultan Iskandar Shah once lived here, but it was turned into a base of military operations for both the colonial and later the Japanese forces.